You know, what I love about dowsing is how it takes you on journeys and you find surprises. Like the day I went out to Breznik and found the Merkosh line at this water station. So we have we have a spring and we have water on the Merkosh line. And as I was busy filming and dowsing, I noticed this peculiar sign and thought I'd go and take a look. And what I discovered was that there were not one, but two castles within a short distance of this site. That got me intrigued, and sure enough, before long, I was setting off looking for Lamberk Castle. So as you can see on the map, this is to the west of Brno, and what I found was this absolutely amazing river valley with this almost bendy Oxbow Lake type area with a castle on either side, and this was a really wonderful discovery. Now, it wasn't just me that this was a major discovery for. When I took Eva along dowsing to this area, even though she has relatives living not 3 or 4 kilometers away, she had never seen this beautiful, deeply cut river valley. So we started dowsing, looking for the inevitable lines that you suspected probably passed through the castle. There is seriously nothing better than getting out for a spot of dowsing in a beautiful location like this one on a cold, crisp November day when the sun is shining and the trees have turned into a myriad of different colours of green, brown, purple, red, orange. And when you mix that with the blue sky and the river down at the bottom of this steep valley, in some places already frozen over, it's just magnificent. Furthermore, as you walk through these trees and down these small winding paths on the edge of steep hills with rocks everywhere, moss, it just becomes like a magical experience. And of course, we found Perun, the mail line on the templar alignment, but it didn't run through Lamberk Castle. Nonetheless, the castle did have a 90 or 100 pace wide line, type 4 line, passing through it that was positive or mail, and that line for some distance seemed to parallel Perun going through this river valley. I suspect that Perun may run through the other castle, and so at some particular point in the future we'll go back and visit the other side of this river bank. It's impossible to cross it here, and we'll go visit the other castle. Now, Lamberk Castle dates back to around 1360, 1370 sort of time frame, when a man called Yaroslav apparently bought part of the village, Breznik, and built this castle. Now, his son, a chap called Jan Sokol from Lamberk, was a very famous warrior, and he's quite famous in Czech history, and this is where he lived and operated from. However, the castle only lasted 100 years or so, and by 1459 it was listed as desolate, and the new castle was built on the other side of the river, and that's called Sedlet's Castle. And again, we will go back and visit that at some point in the future to see what lines pass through it. Well, there's not much of the castle left, quite frankly, just part of one wall and a few ditches. But when you go to a location like this and you see the spectacular drop-offs and the sheer remoteness of the location, you really have to wonder how such a castle could be built and how anyone could live there. But apparently this was rather common back then, because there are many such castles in this area and in the Czech Republic, and indeed beyond. The castle must have had absolutely phenomenal views of the surrounding countryside, up and down the valley, and was probably highly defensible given its location. It certainly had a magical feel about it, and all of these old tree roots just basically added to the atmosphere, along with the moss and the white rocks facing on both sides of the river. We had lunch at the castle, we lit a fire, Marshmallow and even pears were roasted over the open fire as we enjoyed the wonderful scenery and the warmth from the fire in the cold of the November day. Unfortunately, this time of the year it gets dark fairly early, around 4 o'clock, and so we had to leave in good time to make it all the way back to the van. So here's a few views of what's left of the castle and the magnificent beauty of the surrounding countryside and river valley before the video ends. And yes, the dowsing did pay off. Here's a view of what we found. We were able to add a couple of points on the templar alignment, particularly on the male line, and also map a couple of other type 4 but much weaker lines through the area. Obviously I'm going to have to go back and finish this. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed. Please do like, share and subscribe.